Yeah. All right. Again. Yeah. Go on. Stand up.
No, I just think it's an absolute joke, because I'm not being funny. With all due respect, the government should close the borders, and they're still not doing it. So they're facilitating these men to come in, boatloads every single day. I don't care where they've come from. They shouldn't be here. They've come over here illegally. Do you know what I mean? So
it doesn't matter what race.
And when people, I'm not being funny. When people like me stand up and go, well, no, they shouldn't be over here, and you've got all the left go labelling us as far right racists and stuff like that. Well, no, we're not. And they're calling people that are out protesting, because concerned parents are out protesting for the safety of their children, because you've got all these men on the rise of all these committing crimes, of all these illegal migrants that are getting flooded into the areas, right? How can you label a concerned parent a racist because they're threatening for the safety of their children? No, it doesn't wash, mate. Sorry, but no.
Because it shuts down debate. That's why. And it's because it's a really easy thing to say, just to absolutely shut down things. And what was interesting is there's been a lot of talk this week about the Denmark model, and Siobhan and me talking about it and how far she would be prepared to go, and whether we believe her, another matter. But Denmark aren't a member of the ECHR, and their asylum arrivals has plummeted to more or less zero. And so it does show, to what you're saying, that there...
Something has broken in British public life, and no amount of government spin is going to paper over it. Right now, across towns and cities in England, ordinary people, parents, workers, neighbours, are standing up and saying something is deeply wrong with how this country is managing illegal immigration. And the response from the political establishment? Silence, deflection, or worse, a label designed to end the conversation before it even begins. Let's be clear about what's actually happening here. This isn't a fringe debate. This is a mainstream crisis that Westminster has consistently refused to confront honestly. Every single day, boats are crossing the Channel. The numbers are not disputed. The government's own data confirms it. And yet, the political class continues to treat this as a topic too dangerous to discuss without first issuing a disclaimer. Here's the deeper problem. When legitimate concern gets dismissed as bigotry, you don't eliminate the concern, you radicalize the frustration. That is not commentary. That is political science. When working-class communities raise questions about crime, housing pressure, or public safety, and the only response they receive is to be branded as extremists, trust in democratic institutions collapses. That's not a right-wing talking point, that's a warning. Look at Denmark. A mainstream centre-left government implemented some of the toughest immigration policies in Europe: offshore processing, cash return incentives, strict asylum thresholds. The result? Asylum arrivals fell to near zero. Denmark didn't leave the European Convention on Human Rights. They didn't descend into authoritarianism. They made a political choice. And it worked. That example is now circulating at the heart of British political debate, and it terrifies both Labour and Conservative leaderships because it proves their favourite excuse, that their hands are tied, simply doesn't hold up. This matters to you because this is a question of resources, safety, and democratic accountability. NHS waiting lists, school places, housing. These are not abstract policy concerns. They are daily realities for millions of British families who feel they are being told to wait, to be patient, to be quiet. The government cannot keep hiding behind legal complexity while the public's patience runs out on the streets. Here's the uncomfortable truth Westminster doesn't want to say out loud. This debate isn't going away. In fact, it's getting louder. And the longer politicians treat concerned citizens as the problem, rather than addressing the actual problem, the more ground they surrender to voices far less measured than the ones you've just heard. Britain is not a country without compassion, but it is a country running out of patience.